Hi everyone, welcome to practice. This is Steven. Today is all about our wrists. The wrists are in a common position, which is often like this when you're typing and when we're driving, and very few times in a day do we do the entire movement potential of our wrists. So today we're going to take a bit of extra care for the wrists, whether it is after a long day at work or to prevent wrist injuries, because it's quite common in yoga that the wrist gets injured. So if you're going to do a handstand, arm balance, Ashtanga type class or practice, this is a good preparation, or nice to do just some general maintenance so that your wrists stay healthy. Nice. Do this with me. We're coming to hands and knees with the fingers face forward. Now, the first thing we want to do is to grip a little bit with the fingertips and not allow this part, mainly the index finger knuckle, to lift up off the mat. So we're pressing that circle around the palm down, as well as all 10 fingertips, so much so that your fingernails turn a little bit white. This is a good first setup to make sure there's a bit of pressure off the wrist and we get a good hand placement. Also remember, you got two bones from the forearm going down, so one is on the outside of the wrist, one is on the inside, and at all times we want to distribute the weight through those two sides. And then just keeping the hand position, circle around with your shoulders. Nice. So we're pouring more weight into the one hand and then into the other, and just feel how the wrists react to these gentle movements, and then go the other way. So change the direction of the circle from the one hand to the other. Sometimes one wrist feels a little bit more sensitive than the other, so just be a bit careful if that's the case. And then turn the fingers out straight to the side and just go left and right. Left and right. We're gently rocking, and the same thing here. If your wrist feels a bit sore, a bit sensitive, don't pour all the weight into it, just back off a bit and just provide some gentle movements. Good. Now we turn the fingers all the way back so that your middle finger points towards your knees, more or less. And we're going to rock back even so much that the wrists lift a little bit off the mat, and then rock forward. Let's do that a few times. We're rocking back, rocking forward. So we're getting into those muscles at the bottom of the forearm here. Those tendons go all the way into the fingers. They're the ones that close your fist together. And there's a good chance a little bit overworked due to repetitive movements, which we all probably do a bit too much of in our modern lifestyles. Good. You can stop rocking and now turn the hands all the way in as much as possible. You're probably not going to get as far as with the other side, but just turn the fingers in, squeeze the fingertips down onto the mat, and just feel this. This is the internal rotation of your lower arm. It's a bit of an unusual movement. This good, and then place the backs of the hands down with your middle fingers almost touching each other. Nice. So you can do a little push up. Your nose comes close to the mat, and then as you go up, come onto your fists. Nice. Open the hands lower down. You're bending the elbows. Lift back up and come onto fists. Nice. Do that a few times. Doing this little wrist push up. Come onto the fists. Open the hands slowly lower down. First lift up until you reach the maximum, then come onto the fists. Let's do 3 more. Lift back up, lower down, lift up, and last one. Here we go. Lower and lift. Nice. Now place the back of your hand down in front of you and push the left hand on top with the left wrist all the way into the right wrist crease there. Nice. And all I'm going to do is turn the right elbow crease to the front and a little bit in. So I'm rotating that right arm, while I'm pinning the back of the right hand down to the mat. This provides some nice space in the back of that right wrist. As always, if it's sensitive, don't move into any painful movements or areas. Rather back off a bit and be a bit more gentle. Good. And we'll swap it around. So the back of the left hand down, the right hand is pushing down onto it to pin it down to the mat. Rotate the elbow in and out. Actually, I notice I have a lot more rotation capacity on this side than the other. And it's actually often that right wrist, the one that's now on top, that is most prone to giving me some problems. So it's good to notice these subtle differences. Nice. Now place your right forearm down in front of you on the mat. We're going to take the left knee and gently massage the thick muscle close to your elbow crease. So press down with your knee. You can make little circular movements. You can push down and go forward and back. You can also go a little bit closer to your hand or to your wrist, but the closer you get, the more there's just tendons and bones there. There's not much muscle left to massage. So the real meat of the muscle, so to speak, is going to be closer to your elbow. So spend a little bit of extra time there. If you find a bit of a sensitive spot, just pause there, let your knee just massage or sink into the muscles that are tight, and then release. Good. Left forearm cross, right knee. Let me turn around so you can see better. Right knee is going to push down on that left forearm, the inner muscle there, close to the elbow. I'm making little circles. And you can also go forward and back. You do any movements that feel good, really. You even feel as you get closer to your wrist, your fingers will curl up. It's quite curious to notice how all these things are connected. Find another juicy spot, perhaps, just to spend a moment. Let the weight of the knee come down. Of course, if it's too much, remember, you're doing this yourself, so you can always make it a bit lighter, isn't it? You don't have to kill your forearm with this little massage. And sit back just for a moment. We'll end with this. With your right hand, wrap your left hand around the right wrist. I'm squeezing quite hard and I'm choosing the spot just where the hand and the wrist connect. And I'm even pulling the hand a little bit up as if I'm trying to lift it off the arm. Hopefully it doesn't come off. And then with the right hand, make a fist. I'm squeezing with both hands, especially around that wrist. And then all I'm going to do is right wrist makes little circles around, little circles. The left hand keeps squeezing. There's lots of tiny bones that need to slide and glide over each other to make all these movements possible. And go the other way. It's a tiny circle because of all this squeeze of the other hand. Almost like we're putting our wrists together. Good. And then release that. You can shake the hands out. And then right hand, I'm going to wrap it around the left wrist. I'll give a little tug up. And then left fist is squeezing together and making little circles. Notice how your elbow, your shoulder, they're all going to want to move, but we're trying to keep it super local. Only that left wrist. Just to see how far does that joint, or how far is it able to move. Change direction. Go the other way. Keep squeezing with the right hand. Nice. And then for a moment, shake it out. Good. Place the palms together. Thanks for moving with me. Thanks for practicing. And I hope your wrists are feeling amazing. Take good care.